The sun had barely risen over the horizon when the world changed forever. People everywhere were going about their usual lives. Children eating breakfast, parents rushing off to work, and the old sitting on their porches watching the quiet morning. No one knew that it would be the last normal day humanity would ever experience. Far above Earth, a fleet of alien warships moved into position. The Virexians, a powerful alien species from the distant corners of the galaxy, had studied humans for years. They believed humans were weak, unprepared, and easy to conquer. The Virexians had won wars against other planets, and now they had set their sights on Earth. Their ships were bigger than any building on Earth and made of dark metal that shone coldly against the sky. The attack began with a silent flash. Satellites and communication networks fell quiet. Cities all over the world lost power at the same time. The people of Earth did not have time to react or even panic. Alien ships appeared in the sky, their weapons glowing. The Virexians did not send warnings or ask for surrender. They simply started their attack. Energy beams cut through buildings. Streets cracked open as alien machines landed. The military tried to fight back, but their best planes and tanks could not stop the invaders. Missiles and bullets seemed useless against the advanced armor of the Virexian machines. Within hours, the biggest cities fell into silence. Families hid in their homes, hoping the attack would stop. Some tried to run, but the Virexians hunted down every group they could find. Their goal was simple: leave no human alive. As the sun set, fires burned across the world. Smoke rose from broken buildings. The blue sky of Earth turned gray and then black. By the next morning, almost all signs of human life were gone. The few who survived hid deep underground, too scared to come out. The world was no longer their home. It now belonged to the Virexians. The galaxy received the news quickly. Other alien races, watching from their own worlds, saw the Virexians' message broadcast across space. Earth is silent. The humans are gone. The galaxy is safe. Most believed it was true. After all, no planet had survived a full Virexian attack before. But deep in the frozen lands of Earth's Arctic, something else was happening. Far below the icy surface, hidden from every satellite and scanning device, was an old research station. It had once been built for scientific study, but during years of tension between nations, it was repurposed for something else. Here, in the coldest part of the world, was the Arctic Chamber Project. Inside the chamber, long metal halls were lit by blue emergency lights. Behind thick metal doors were a series of cryogenic pods, high-tech beds where men and women slept in a frozen state. These people were not normal soldiers. Years ago, when the threat of alien invasion became too real, Earth's governments started a project to create the ultimate defenders. Volunteers, most of them already the best in the military, had agreed to undergo experiments. They were given enhanced strength, faster reflexes, and minds trained for any kind of battle. Each one had a unique skill. Some could see in the dark. Others could hear the smallest sound, and a few could even survive wounds that would kill normal humans. The project was a secret. Even most world leaders did not know the full truth. The Arctic Chamber was a last resort, a hope for the worst possible day. If Earth was ever attacked and lost, these super soldiers would be woken up to fight back. But the project was risky, and when the world started to calm down, the funding was cut. The chamber was mostly forgotten. The people inside remained asleep, their lives frozen in time. When the Virexians attacked, sensors deep in the ice detected the energy spikes and the end of human radio traffic. Emergency protocols kicked in. For the first time in many years, the Arctic Chamber's systems turned on. Computer screens glowed. Power flowed into the pods. Inside one pod, a man named Carter began to stir. He was the team's leader, a soldier, known for his calm under pressure. His eyelids flickered. Next to him, a woman named Ava slowly woke up, her body feeling heavy and cold. One by one, the rest of the squad came to life. Their names were simple, their faces marked by old scars. There was Logan, the heavy weapons expert, Mia, a fast and clever scout, and Ethan, the quiet medic. The room filled with the sound of hissing gas and soft alarms. Carter opened his eyes and tried to move. At first, his muscles did not respond. He blinked and waited as his memories returned in flashes, his training, his friends, and his mission. He remembered signing the agreement, going under, and the hope that they would never be needed. But here he was, waking up to a world in trouble. "Status report," Carter said, his voice rough from years of sleep. The chamber's AI system answered him, its voice calm and gentle. "Arctic Chamber Protocol 7 activated. Emergency condition detected. Global human extinction event. You are authorized to wake up and defend." Ava pulled herself out of the pod. She looked around and saw the others doing the same. She felt a strange sadness in her chest. Had things really gone so wrong that they were needed? Logan cracked his knuckles and stretched. "Does anyone know what year it is?" he joked, trying to break the tension. The AI responded, "The year is 2135. The team put on their uniforms and checked their weapons. Some of the equipment was old, but everything still worked. They moved with slow purpose through the halls, passing empty rooms and old posters on. The walls, reminders of the world they had left behind. On a screen, a map of Earth flashed red. Alien signals filled the sky above every continent. They reached the main control room, where Carter found an old radio. He tried to call anyone outside, but only static answered him. The news was everywhere. All humans lost. The world is silent. The soldiers felt a deep sense of loss. Their families, their friends, everyone they knew was probably gone. But Carter stood straight and looked at his team. "We're not finished," he said quietly. "If we're the last, then we fight. We find out what happened, and we don't let them win. Not while we're still breathing." The team agreed. They knew they might not survive, but they had a duty to try. They packed what food and medicine they could carry and prepared to leave the safety of the underground base. Before they went, Carter placed his hand on the cold metal door and promised to come back, no matter what. The doors hissed open. Ice and wind rushed inside. The world above was cold and empty. The city they saw in the distance was covered in snow, broken and silent. But in that moment, the soldiers felt alive again. They had a purpose, and somewhere out there, the enemy was waiting. The icy wind struck their faces as Carter, Ava, Logan, Mia, and Ethan stepped out from the deep Arctic chamber. The land above was nothing like the world they once knew. Snow fell quietly over broken roads, twisted signs, and the frozen shells of vehicles left behind in chaos. The city nearby, once full of lights and life, now looked like a ghost's memory, with windows dark and streets empty. For a moment, none of the soldiers spoke. They stood in the snow, listening. There was only the whistling of the wind and the crunch of ice under their boots. The silence was heavier than any weapon. Carter was the first to move. He led them carefully along the edge of what used to be a highway, their eyes watching every shadow. Each member of the team felt their training kick in. Ava walked near the front, her eyes scanning the skyline for movement. Logan carried heavy gear, ready for trouble. Mia, smaller and quicker, kept darting ahead and doubling back, looking for signs of traps or enemies. Ethan moved quietly, holding the medical pack and checking their health monitors. They did not speak about their fear, but it was there. Not just fear of the Virexians, but the deeper fear that no other humans had survived. Carter's mind raced with questions. Were there others like them, hidden somewhere else? Did anyone hear their coded signal from the chamber? As they entered the edges of the ruined city, the team saw how total the destruction was. Buildings leaned like old teeth, Fires that once raged were now just black scars. On a crumbled wall, Carter saw a faded poster, children's faces, a lost cat, some old-world message of hope. He paused, staring at it, feeling the weight of what had been lost. They needed information. The team moved to an old police station, hoping to find working technology or clues. The inside was cold and dark. Drawers were thrown open, papers scattered everywhere. They found a radio set, but it was smashed. Still, Mia found something, a small generator. With some careful work, Logan got it running, and Ava connected her tablet to power. Ava started scanning for signals. At first, there was nothing but static. But then, faint and broken, she picked up a strange noise. It was not a human voice, but alien speech. She boosted the volume, and the team listened. The Virexians were using Earth's airwaves to talk to their patrols. The language was strange, but their AI devices translated it. The area is clear. No human detected. Continue resource extraction. A chill ran through the room. The Virexians truly thought Earth belonged to them now. Logan slammed his fist down. "They're treating us like we're already gone," he growled. Carter nodded. "We're not gone yet, and we need a plan. They're moving around so they'll find us, if we're not careful." Ethan checked the medical supplies. "We need food and clean water. There's not enough in our packs to last a week." "First, we find shelter for the night," Carter decided. "Then we find out how many Virexians are in the area, and we see if there's anyone else left." Mia volunteered to scout. She slipped through side streets, her movements barely making a sound. The city was still, but sometimes she saw lights in the distance, alien drones patrolling the ruins. She watched as one of the drones stopped by a burned-out building, scanned the area, and then flew off, leaving only silence behind. Mia hurried back and reported. "Drones patrol every hour. There's a supply center 3 blocks away, guarded by 2 Virexian soldiers. No sign of survivors yet." Ava's face was tense. "If we want to eat, we have to take that center, but we need to be quiet." They rested for a short while, hidden in the back of the police station. As darkness covered the city, they prepared. Each soldier checked their weapons and gear. They had only a few old rifles and sidearms, nothing like what the Virexians had. But Carter reminded them, "We have supplies. That's enough." The team made their way through alleyways, taking care not to be seen. When they reached the supply center, they watched from the shadows. The Virexian guards were tall, armored, and carried strange energy weapons. But the soldiers saw a pattern. Every 10 minutes, one walked to the side to check the perimeter, leaving the other alone. Carter gave the signal. Mia crawled behind the fence, slipping up behind the first guard. With a silent strike, she took him down. Logan caught the second guard by surprise, knocking him out before he could raise an alarm. They pulled the bodies out of sight and opened the doors. Inside, they found boxes of alien food supplies. Strange but edible, according to Ava's scanner. There were water tanks, blankets, and some emergency kits. Logan grinned for the first time. "This'll keep us going," he said. They also found a map, an alien digital display showing their patrol routes and resource stations across the city. Carter copied everything onto Ava's tablet. "With this, we can avoid their patrols or strike where they don't expect us," he said. But suddenly, the alien comm unit in the supply room came to life. "Unit 14, report. Area scan required. Respond." Ava froze. They had to move. Fast. Logan tossed a grenade into the center and the team slipped out the back door. As they melted into the shadows, the supply center exploded behind them, covering their escape. They ran through ruined streets, guided by Mia's quick steps and Ava's maps. Carter glanced back once, seeing the flames in the night, and knew the Virexians would soon be hunting them with even more anger. But as they hid in the basement of an old library, Carter saw hope in his team's eyes. For the first time since waking, they felt a spark of control. They had survived. They had struck back. maybe, just maybe, they could do more. That night, as they ate the strange alien rations and huddled under old blankets, they listened to the Virexian radio channels. There was panic now in the alien voices. Reports of an attack, missing soldiers, and a destroyed center. The Virexians could not believe anyone was alive, let alone fighting back. Ethan patched a small wound on Logan's arm, quietly telling a story about the days before the invasion. Ava tried to repair one of the alien comms, hoping to send a signal beyond the city. Mia, never able to rest, watched from the window, looking for any movement in the ruins. Carter sat apart, thinking about the map. The aliens were everywhere, but their pattern had weaknesses. He remembered his training. They could not fight head-to-head, not yet. But with careful strikes, maybe they could save more supplies, find survivors, and grow stronger. Before dawn, Ava managed to send out a coded signal on the alien frequencies, a simple message in human code. "We are here, still fighting." She did not know if anyone would hear, but she hoped. Carter nodded in approval. "Let's keep moving. We'll never stop." As the sun rose, the team packed their things and set off again, moving like shadows across the frozen city. They were not just survivors now, they were soldiers with a mission. And if there was even one more human left out there, they would find them. Far above, the Virexian command ship picked up strange signals coming from the ruined city. Their leader frowned, unable to believe the reports. "No humans should remain," he said. But as more alerts came in, explosions, lost patrols, sabotage, he began to worry. When the morning sun touched the snowy city, Carter's team was already awake. Their sleep had been short, full of uneasy dreams and the echo of alien voices on the radio. But even though they were tired, a new energy filled them. The strike on the supply center had changed something inside each of them. For the first time, they felt like soldiers again, not just survivors. Carter studied the map they had stolen from the Virexians. Bright red lines showed the alien patrols, their bases, and the important centers they used. The aliens were organized, but Carter saw what the map really meant. No enemy is perfect. Even the strongest force can be fooled. As the team ate their morning meal, strange, salty food from alien rations, Ava talked about what she'd learned from the comms. "There's a bigger command post not far from here," she said. "They send out the patrols. If we hit them, we can disrupt everything. Maybe even rescue some survivors." Logan grinned, cleaning his weapon. "About time we do something loud." Ethan checked everyone's wounds, making sure no one was hurt after last night's fight. Mia, as always, watched the street from the broken window, her eyes sharp for any sign of movement. Carter nodded, feeling the weight of his responsibility. "We move at sunset," he said. "Mia, scout the area. Ava, see if you can break into their camera feeds. Logan and Ethan, get the gear ready." The hours passed slowly. Mia slipped away, her feet silent in the snow. She moved like a ghost through the city, avoiding the drones and the bright searchlights from alien towers. In an old subway tunnel, she found something surprising. A small group of humans, dirty and scared, hiding among the shadows. Mia whispered to them, using simple words. "We're here to fight. There's a team. You're not alone." She gave them a small radio telling them to stay hidden until she returned. One young man grabbed her hand, tears in his eyes. "We thought everyone was gone," he said. Back at the library, Mia shared the news. "There are more survivors. They're scared, but they want to help." Carter felt hope spark inside him. Maybe, if they could keep striking, more people would join. "Good work," he said. "After tonight, they'll know it's possible to fight back." As the sun slipped behind the ruined buildings, the team prepared for the attack. Ava hacked into the alien cameras, finding blind spots. She shared the information with the others, marking safe paths and enemy patrols on their tablets. The command post was once a hospital. Now it was surrounded by high alien fences, guarded by Virexian soldiers in shining armor. Bright blue lights scanned the area. But Carter's team moved through the shadows, using every trick they had learned in years of training. Logan led the way, carrying extra explosives. Ethan kept his eyes on their backs, ready to help if anything went wrong. Mia slipped close to the fence, her small frame perfect for crawling through tight gaps. Ava stayed back, controlling the hacked cameras and sending quick messages to Carter's earpiece. They waited, hidden, as a Virexian patrol walked by. Carter counted the seconds, breathing slow and steady. When the patrol disappeared, he gave the signal. Mia moved first, slipping under the fence and disabling the alarm. Logan cut through the wire, making a small opening for the others. They crawled inside, moving like shadows. Carter led them through a side door, using an old security card he had found in the police station. Inside, the old hospital was cold and strange. The halls echoed with the sounds of alien boots and machines. Carter held up his hand, signaling everyone to stop. They heard voices, two Virexian soldiers talking in their own language. Ava listened through her device and translated quietly. "They're reporting the supply center attack. They're worried." The team moved fast. Logan placed explosives on the fuel cells he found in a storage room. Mia and Ava located the main communication room, where the Virexians controlled all radio signals in the area. Ethan watched the hallway, holding his weapon steady. For a moment, it was almost peaceful, but then a Virexian guard turned the corner and spotted them. The alien shouted, raising his weapon. Carter reacted instantly, tackling the guard. Logan and Ethan joined in, taking down the alien before he could fire. Ava quickly locked the doors, jamming the alien signals. "Now!" Carter ordered. The team moved to the roof, planting the last of the explosives. Mia sent a coded message to the survivors, telling them to be ready. Then they ran. The explosives blew with a deep roar, shaking the ground and sending fire into the sky. The alien command post was in flames, its equipment destroyed. The Virexian soldiers rushed around in confusion, shouting orders and searching for the attackers. Carter's team escaped through a hidden tunnel, guided by Ava's map. They moved quickly, dodging patrols and hiding in the ruins until the noise died down. When they reached the safety of the subway tunnel, they found the group of survivors waiting. The people were scared but excited. For the first time since the invasion, they saw hope. Carter spoke to them, his voice strong. "We're not finished," he said. "We hit them tonight and we'll do it again. If you're willing, we need your help. Spread the word. Earth fights on." The survivors nodded. Some were former police, others just ordinary people. But they all wanted to help. Mia handed out radios, teaching them the simple codes the team used. Logan gave them tips on how to hide from drones. Ava showed them how to scan for alien signals. That night, Carter's team slept in shifts, trusting the survivors to keep watch. Ethan tended to small wounds and tried to comfort a crying child. "You're safe now," he said gently. "We won't leave you." Over the next few days, the team led more raids. With each attack, they destroyed alien supplies, rescued more people, and confused the Virexian patrols. Carter's messages, sent over broken radios, spread hope across the ruined city. "We are here. Humanity fights on." The Virexians responded by sending more troops and tighter patrols. Their commanders were angry, unable to understand how humans could still be fighting. They brought in new machines, drones that scanned heat, and hunters that could track by sound. One afternoon, while Mia and Ava were searching for food in an abandoned market, a hunter drone appeared. Its red sensors flashed as it moved between the shelves. The girls froze. If it detected them, the whole squad would be in danger. Ava whispered, "Stay still." She activated a small device that sent out a false signal, confusing the drone for a moment. Mia used the distraction to slip. behind the machine and unplug its power core. The drone fell, silent. The girls breathed out in relief, but they knew it would only get harder. Carter met with the survivors every night, planning new attacks and sharing information. "The more noise we make, the more hope we give," he said. "But we have to be careful." Logan started training the survivors, teaching them how to fight and move silently. He shared old stories of training camps, making the children laugh and giving the adults courage. One evening, while the team rested in an underground shelter, Ava received a broken signal on the alien comm. It was not Virexian language, but a human voice, faint and afraid. "Help! Is anyone out there? Please! We're trapped!" Carter looked at the team, determination in his eyes. "We find them. No one is left behind." The team geared up again, following the weak signal through the dark city. They avoided patrols, using everything they had learned. After hours of searching, they found a small group of people trapped in the basement of a half-collapsed school. The roof was caving in, and water leaked from every wall. Logan and Carter moved heavy rubble, freeing the survivors. Ethan checked them for injuries, while Mia and Ava stood guard. When the group was finally safe, a little girl hugged Carter, whispering, "Thank you." He smiled, patting her head. As the team led the group back to safety, Carter thought about all the people, still out there, scared and alone. He promised himself and his team, "We won't stop, not ever." The days passed quickly after Carter's team rescued the trapped survivors. The group hiding in the subway tunnels grew larger. People found hope again, and the story of the super soldiers waking from the Arctic chamber spread among them like fire in dry grass. Some of the rescued people whispered that maybe, just maybe, the world was not lost yet. Every day, Carter and his team planned new attacks. They knew they could not face the Virexians in open battle. The aliens had more weapons, more soldiers, and better technology. But the humans had something stronger, a will to fight, a belief that home was worth any risk. Carter studied the alien maps Ava kept updating on her tablet. The Virexians' routines became clear after every new raid. Every time the humans struck a supply truck, set a trap for patrols, or destroyed a drone, the aliens became more cautious. Their patrols moved slower, their soldiers looked more nervous. The fear was spreading. One morning, Mia returned from scouting with exciting news. "I saw another group of survivors," she said, her voice breathless with hope. "They have radios, and they're armed. I think they want to join us." Carter called a meeting with the group leaders. There were teachers, old soldiers, engineers, even a few teenagers who had learned quickly how to survive. Together, they made a plan. "If we keep hiding, we will lose. But if we work together, we can fight back, even in small ways," Carter explained. "We hit them where they don't expect. We save people, destroy their supplies, and make this city unsafe for them." The group divided into smaller teams. Some worked on repairing old vehicles so they could move supplies and injured people faster. Others built simple traps using wires and sharp pieces of metal. A few learned how to listen to the Virexian radio channels, warning the group when patrols were nearby. Ava and a young engineer named Paul started working on the Virexian device they had captured, a strange black box with glowing lines. Paul was excited. "I think we can use this to send a signal beyond the city," he said. "Maybe there are other humans fighting in other parts of the world." Logan trained new fighters, teaching them how to aim, move quietly, and hide quickly, if spotted. The children liked him, following him around and asking questions. "How many aliens did you fight? Were you ever afraid?" Logan smiled, remembering his own childhood, and answered every question with patience. As the group's confidence grew, so did their attacks. They raided a Virexian fuel depot late one night. Ava hacked the security doors while Logan and Carter placed explosives on the tanks. When the fuel went up in a ball of fire, the sound echoed across the city. Virexian patrols rushed to the scene, but the humans were already gone, blending into the darkness. Every victory, even the small ones, made the Virexians more desperate. Their leaders ordered tighter patrols and harsher searches. Drones with thermal sensors flew low over the city, trying to spot human heat signatures. Hunters with sharp claws and cold silver eyes stalked the ruins. The humans had to become more careful. One evening, while the group was sharing a quiet meal, Ethan heard a sound outside their underground hideout. He motioned for silence. Carter and Mia slipped into the shadows, weapons ready. A moment later, a figure appeared in the doorway, a woman carrying a young child, both of them shivering and hungry. They had escaped from a Virexian work camp. Ethan quickly brought them inside, wrapping the child in a blanket and giving her water. The woman shared information about the camp. "There are dozens of us still trapped," she whispered. "The Virexians are forcing people to work on some kind of machine. It's guarded day and night." Carter listened closely. "Do you know where it is?" The woman nodded and drew a simple map in the dirt. The team gathered for a new mission. Carter spoke firmly. "We can't leave those people. If we can free them, we strike another blow, and maybe find out what the Virexians are building." Ava studied the plans, searching for weaknesses. "The camp's power lines are exposed. If we cut the power, the security gates will unlock. For a short time." Mia and Logan volunteered to sneak into the camp first and cut the lines. Carter would lead a small rescue team, while Ava stayed behind to guide them using hacked security cameras. Ethan prepared medical supplies, knowing some people would be hurt. Under the cover of a snowstorm, the team moved out. The cold bit at their faces, but they ignored it, driven by the promise of saving more lives. Mia moved like a shadow along the fence, her hands steady as she sliced through the thick cables. Sparks flew, and the lights in the camp flickered and died. Logan signaled Carter's team. They rushed the gates, weapons drawn. The Virexian guards, surprised and blinded by the darkness, fumbled to respond. Carter and Logan moved fast, taking down guards quietly while Mia led the prisoners to safety. Inside one building, Ethan found an old man who could barely walk. He carried him out, whispering comfort as the man cried with relief. "You're safe now. We're not leaving anyone behind." Ava, watching from her station, saw Virexian reinforcements moving in. "You have 2 minutes," she warned through the radio. The team pushed the last group of prisoners out through a hole in the fence. Just as the Virexians fired their energy weapons, Carter threw a smoke grenade, covering their escape. The group vanished into the night, leaving chaos behind. Back at the base, the rescued people were greeted with cheers. Some wept, hugging their families. Others simply sat, too tired and shocked to speak. Carter knelt next to the little girl from the camp and gave her a warm drink. "You're home now," he said softly. But the success came with a price. The Virexians doubled their efforts to hunt the humans. Patrols now moved in groups and more drones flew overhead. The humans had to change hiding places often, never staying in one spot for long. Paul and Ava continued working on the alien device. After many long nights, they finally got a signal through. A faint, human voice answered from somewhere far away. "This is the Southern Resistance. Who is this?" Ava's heart pounded with excitement as she explained who they were. The message that followed brought both joy and fear. "You are not alone. There are other survivors. But the Virexians are building something terrible. If they finish it, no one will be safe." Carter listened as Ava shared the news. "We have friends out there," he said. "But we also have a new enemy. We need to know what the Virexians are building." Mia, always restless, started watching the old factories and power plants around the city. She saw Virexian trucks moving back and forth, carrying strange parts. The captured woman said she had seen blueprints for a large machine, something that could send out energy across the planet. Carter called a meeting of the group's leaders. "We have to stop them. If they finish this machine, it could end all. Hope for humans everywhere." Paul spoke up, excitement in his voice. We can use the alien device as leverage. If we threaten to use it against the Virexians' own technology, maybe we can slow them down. The plan was risky. They would broadcast a message on the alien frequencies, warning the Virexians that humans had control of their device and would use it if needed. Ava prepared the message. Her hands shook as she spoke into the radio. This is a warning to all Virexian forces. Humans control your technology. Leave our planet or face the consequences. The message echoed across the alien network. For hours, there was no response. But finally, the Virexian commander answered, his voice cold. You will surrender the device, or we will destroy every city. Carter shook his head. We can't. Back down. If we do, all our work is wasted. That night, the team gathered around a small fire, talking quietly. Logan told a story from his training days, making the group laugh and forget their fear for a while. Ethan checked on the rescued people, making sure they had enough food and medicine. Mia sat next to Carter, staring into the flames. Do you really think we can win? She asked. Carter looked at his team, tired, hungry, but full of courage. I don't know, he said honestly. But I know we can't stop. We fight for every life, every moment of hope. The city felt different now. Snow still covered the broken streets. But hope was growing in the darkness. More survivors joined Carter's group each day, bringing stories of courage and small victories from other parts of the ruined world. The Virexians still controlled the skies, but they no longer moved with confidence. Their machines moved slower, and their patrols doubled back, looking for attacks that always seemed to come from nowhere. Inside their underground base, the humans worked together like a single living thing. Old fears were replaced with a purpose. People built shelters, shared food, and watched over each other's children. Carter and his team, the Arctic Chamber super soldiers, were no longer alone. Now they were leaders of a growing resistance. Ava worked side by side with Paul and a team of engineers, trying to learn everything about the Virexian device. They managed to send messages far beyond their city, making contact with small bands of survivors in other places, across frozen plains, broken forests, even distant mountain valleys. Each message came back the same. We are here. We are fighting. What do we do next? Carter knew the answer. We keep going. We show the Virexians Earth is not conquered, and we stop them from finishing their machine. The group learned the Virexian secret project was close to completion. Mia discovered, through careful spying, that the aliens were building a powerful transmitter. If it was finished, the machine would send a signal strong enough to locate every human survivor on the planet. The Virexians planned to use it to end the last of humanity, once and for all. Logan slammed his fist on the table. We can't let that happen. If they find everyone, there will be no one left to fight. Paul smiled, holding up the alien device. We have a chance. We can use this to overload their machine, maybe even destroy it. Carter looked around at his team, at Ava's clever eyes, Mia's quick hands, Ethan's quiet strength, and Logan's steady courage. He saw the new faces, too, those who had survived not because they were trained, but because they refused to give up. He nodded. We attack tonight. We end this. The plan was simple, but dangerous. Carter and the team would lead the attack. Using the map Mia drew of the transmitter facility. Paul, Ava, and a group of engineers would sneak inside and connect the alien device to the transmitter's controls. Logan and a team of fighters would create a distraction at the main gate, drawing the guards away. Mia and Ethan would guide a group of rescued survivors to safety in case things went wrong. As darkness fell, the resistance moved through the city. The snow muffled their footsteps. Carter led his squad through an old sewer tunnel that ended near the Virexian base. Ava checked her tablet again and again, watching for drones. Mia moved ahead, making sure the path was clear. At the gate, Logan and the fighters set off a series of small explosions. Alarms blared, and Virexian soldiers rushed to defend the entrance, thinking it was the main attack. Meanwhile, Carter's group slipped through the side, hiding in the shadows. Inside the transmitter building, strange lights flashed and machines hummed. Virexian engineers worked quickly, trying to finish the final connections. Ava and Paul crept close, carrying the alien device hidden in a metal case. Ethan stayed behind, ready to help if anyone was hurt. Suddenly, a patrol spotted them. Carter fired, and the team moved fast, taking cover behind metal boxes. The fight was quick but loud. 2 Virexians fell, and the rest ran for help. Time was running out. Paul reached the control room and connected the device. "I need just a minute," he called. Ava covered him, firing at a guard who burst through the door. On the other side of the building, Logan and his fighters pushed hard, making it seem like a large army was attacking. The Virexians panicked, calling for help from the command ship in orbit. Mia, guiding the survivors through an escape tunnel, heard the chaos above. She pressed her radio. "Hurry! The aliens are sending everything they have." Carter helped Paul as sparks flew from the machine. Paul typed fast, connecting wires and pressing buttons. "Almost there. When I say go, we all run." The transmitter started to shake. Lights flickered and alarms screamed. The Virexian engineers realized something was wrong, but it was too late. The alien device overloaded the machine. A wave of energy shot out, burning the controls and sending a shock through the whole base. "Now!" Paul shouted. Carter's team ran for the exit as the transmitter exploded behind them. The force knocked them to the ground, but they got up, pulling each other through the smoke and fire. Outside, Logan and his fighters fell back, running as alien ships screamed overhead. But the attack worked. The Virexians inside the base were trapped, and the survivors got out safely. Back at the underground base, everyone waited, listening for news. Ava's voice came through first. "It's done! The machine is gone!" Cheering filled the tunnels. People hugged, cried, and danced. For the first time since the invasion, it felt like Earth had won something big. But Carter knew the fight was not finished. He gathered his team and spoke to all the survivors. His voice was tired but strong. "The Virexians will be angry. They will send more ships, maybe more soldiers. But tonight we proved that humans can fight back. We're not extinct. We are not defeated," Paul added. "And we still have the alien device. If they try to use their technology against us, we'll be ready." Messages poured in from other cities. Survivors everywhere heard about the attack on the transmitter. Resistance groups joined forces, sharing ideas and hope. The Virexians began to retreat from some areas, afraid of more sabotage and human courage. Carter's team worked to help the wounded and find food for everyone. Ethan became a leader among the medical volunteers. He taught others how to treat burns and fix broken bones. Logan helped train more fighters, showing them how to hide, run, and fight as a team. Ava kept the communication network alive. She spoke every night to survivors in faraway places. She heard stories of people who had hidden for months, of small victories and quiet bravery. Mia became a legend among the children. She taught them how to listen, how to watch the sky, and how to move quietly through the snow. She never let her guard down, but sometimes when no one was looking, she smiled. Days turned into weeks. The Virexians slowly pulled their ships from Earth's surface. Without their transmitter, they couldn't hunt humans as easily, and everywhere the resistance grew stronger. One day, a Virexian ship landed near the city with a white flag raised. Their leader sent a message. "We wish to talk." Carter met the alien leader with his team. He stood tall and spoke for all of Earth. "You came here and tried to end us, but you failed. Earth is not for sale, not for conquest. Go back to your world. Tell your people that humans do not give up." The Virexians agreed to withdraw, at least for now. Their ships lifted off, leaving behind a world scarred by war but alive with hope. As the sun rose over the ruined city, Carter's team stood on a snowy rooftop, looking at the new day. Ava, Logan, Mia, Ethan, and Paul stood together, surrounded by the people they had saved. "We did it," Mia whispered. Carter nodded. "We did it together, and if anyone tries to take Earth again, they'll find out. Humans always return."